So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning into my channel again this evening. Now, today I'm preparing supper for one, and I've just bought this one piece of fish. I usually buy them prepared, already cooked, deep fried, but today I've just bought this one piece so that I can demonstrate to you my process of what I can do and what I prefer, because sometimes I buy them when they're fresh like this and I just prepare them. So mostly in Nairobi they sell them um, when they've already removed the intestines and they've already removed all the scales, as you can see. Uh, but the operculum, it's me who has cut it so that it can allow the gills to also fry well, because even the gills, I eat even the gills. So look at the inside, the way it's clean, and I've already cleaned it. I want to put it in my marinade, and I just want to put it aside and prepare my marinade. So I've already uh, mashed my garlic and red onions. I've cut them in bigger pieces, bigger chunks, and I've just added a bit of fresh milk, and now I'm adding a bit of soy sauce, the dark one, and a pinch of salt also. So once I've done that, I'm going to cut my fish just to allow it to cook well. You know, in oil, when sometimes when you don't, if you don't do this, the meat will not, the where, especially where the flesh is big or heavy, it will not be nicely, it will not be crunchy nicely. So I've just cut it that way, you can see. And now I'm just going to put it in the marinade and allow it to stay there for at least 30 minutes. You see the color of marinade, and once I remove it from the marinade, I am still going to sprinkle some salt on it, and then I just add a bit of oil. You know, putting a bit of oil in the marinade ensures that when you're going to be deep frying it, it is not going to dry so much. The outside will remain somehow soft, because it's going to absorb even the oil, a bit of it inside. And I'm just going to cover it with my foil and let it rest for at least 30 minutes. As I wait for it to marinate, I'll be preparing my vegetables. So my vegetables today, the vegetable I'm going to cook today is saga. Saga is the spider plant. Sometimes it's a bit bitter, but if you follow the right process when cooking, you will not feel the bitterness so much. So once you put your oil in the pan, just put the other ingredients, and my tomatoes I'll add, and then I'll add my vegetables. I'll not let my tomatoes to cook, because I want the steam from the tomatoes to help my vegetables cook also. And also, because I'm not going to add any water, once it cooks, I'm going to just add milk. That's how I'm going to cook it. So my oil is there, it's almost ready, and then I'm going to add my red onions. I like to preheat my oil always, because so I'm adding my onions, letting it cook just for a few minutes, few seconds. And then, especially when the oil is already hot, it never takes long. It takes a very short while to cook the onions. So I'm adding my tomatoes. This is just one piece of tomato, and a little bit that was left when I was preparing my kachumbari. I've added it here because I'm not preparing a fish stew. I'm going to eat it dry. So once my onions are, I've added them there, I'm going to add a pinch of salt to help them cook, or I can add it later once my vegetables have already are already in the pan. So I'm adding just 1 cube of Royco. Right now I have the chicken one. It's going to enhance the flavor, the taste. So once I've added that and just a pinch of salt, All I'm doing is now add my vegetables. I'm not going to wait for them to cook. I'm just going to cover it. And once I cover it, I'm going to reduce my heat, my heat, and then cover it with a lid and let it cook without turning it until all the vegetable is nicely steamed in the oil and tomatoes. So I need the steam from the tomatoes to also help cook my vegetables because I'm not adding any water. And once it goes down, like I'm seeing the steam is it's dying up, what I'll do is add milk instead. I'm not going to put water. So that's why I didn't wait for my tomatoes to cook, because I assume sometimes when they are cooking, the steam also evaporates. So I didn't want that. That's why I've added it directly. So my vegetable is really little. I just bought for 40 shillings. I don't want it to have soup, vegetable soup. I don't want to have it. So I'm adding my milk little by little as I wait for it to dry, and my vegetable is also cooking in the little heat and in the little milk and tomatoes that I have. So this is just one way of cooking. At the same time, guys, I think you've seen my ugali also cooking. I'm cooking my ugali in the other burner. You know, it's just supper for one person. So I've just put 1 cup and 1 cup of water, and I've just added a bit of salt. So my ugali is cooking. At the same time, I'm preparing my vegetables. I don't want it to have soup, so I'm adding my milk bit by bit, guys. It's also just one plate, so I expect myself not to leave anything in this pan. Once when I'm eating, I'm going to eat everything. And I've already removed my fish from the marinade, and I just let it to drain. I just want to let it to drain all the marinade, because it has some milk, and milk has a lot of water. So when I put it in the oil, to avoid being burnt by oil, I just want to let it drain most of it. Another way of preparing fish is just you can just marinate it with salt alone, and it will still come out perfectly. Then you prepare your kachumbari and you eat it that way. So my vegetable is almost ready. My ugali is already cooked. And now I have my pan with oil on the gas. I'm waiting for my oil to heat so that I can add so that I can put my fish. There we are. I'm putting it inside, right inside. So my marinade had soy sauce. Therefore, you expect my fish to come out a little bit dark. Doesn't mean it's going to be burnt. Yes, so I added a bit of milk and a bit of soy sauce and garlic and red onions. You can also put ginger and turmeric if you wish, and all those stuff. I chose this kind of marinade, the simplest. You can even use just red onion. Sometimes I just marinate them with red onions alone, and I put a bit of oil. Then I cover it. I put it in a polythene bag, and you can keep it, let it just rest for around 30 minutes to absorb the flavor of red onion and also the salt. Ensure you always marinate with salt. So the other things are just additionals, but salt is the main thing. And always when you're marinating your fish, also you can put it in a polythene bag. You can put it in just in a bowl and cover it. You can put it in anything, just as long as it's covered, it will absorb the marinade well. So you can see how my fish is cooking. I'm liking the outcome. I want it to be crunchy. I don't want it to be to be wet. Also, I don't want it to over dry. So I'm just here turning and keeping watch. And this is my first video in 2024, and I'm really thankful, guys, for your support. Keep watching. My fish is ready, and now I just want to put it in a plate. And my vegetables are also cooked. Look, I did not cut my vegetables. I just removed them from the main stock, and then cooked them that way. Wash them nicely and cook them that way. Look at my supper. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I'm so grateful. Look at how fleshy and soft it is, and it is tasting so yummy. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for watching, and keep watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and even comment so that I can know where I can add something or do something. Thank you very much. Your comment is highly appreciated, and your support is really appreciated on this channel. God bless you as you keep watching, and happy 2024. God bless you.